Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Joe Tyrrell and welcome back to GP Blog. There was always going to be talking points off the track with the first ever Qatar Grand Prix, but Lewis Hamilton did his talking on it, as he romped arguably the most emphatic win of the season. He cut the gap to Max Verstappen and continued his fine form to keep his title hopes alive. Here's 5 things we learned from the first ever Qatar Grand Prix. Number 1. The current layout is not fit for F1. Now this has become a recurring theme throughout Formula 1, and sadly it makes viewing at times extremely difficult. The current layout of the Qatar circuit is just not what F1 needs to A. Make the sport more entertaining, and B. Attract new fans. Heading to Qatar, it had already left a sour taste. The lack of atmosphere at the circuit, the money motivation behind the move, and no less the human rights record of the country. It already felt a little tinged. You'd have thought the least they could do is put on an incredible race, and well, we didn't get that. And the fact is, it could have been a whole lot worse had overtaking been as hard as initially predicted. Now when Qatar returns in 2 years' time, it is expected to be a newly built purpose circuit, and I can't stress how important it is that they get that right, because if Formula 1 keeps going to circuits like this, but fans never get to see another race on the Bahrain outer loop, well, they can consider themselves well and truly robbed. Number 2. Time is on Qatar's side. The issue with Qatar was overtaking was so difficult. If Qatar wants to be successful, they need to make overtaking challenging but achievable with relative ease. People want to see racing, and overtaking is the main action. If they just make it a DRS train, fans will go off it pretty quickly, and it won't attract these new audiences the sport is desperate for. The beauty of having a year off the calendar means they've got time to really crack the puzzle and make a track fit for the pinnacle of motorsport. Before we get into the rest of the things we learned in Qatar, if you're new around here or simply haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really does mean a lot as we aim for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of the content we've got coming up. Number 3. No one really knows the rules. This problem is a rollover from Interlagos. No one really knows the boundaries anymore in a number of situations, and it creates confusion, not only for the drivers, but for us fans. Max Verstappen says everything is very clear with the limits on pushing each other off the track, but Lewis Hamilton is none the wiser. Next time out, the FIA have set the bar with the incident in Brazil, so there might be some very unhappy drivers if they don't stick to it. That wasn't the only confusion, as the stewards handed out penalties for failing to lift under yellow flags. Initially, they decided nothing was needed. Then they changed their mind. Verstappen and Bottas were penalised, but were they harsh? No one really knows. Not really by the rules, and by the precedents they've set in the past. You have to look back to Hamilton in Austria a year ago, or Max in Mexico in 2019. The confusion and ambiguity doesn't help the sport. I've said it so often before, and it does not attract new fans at all, and actually, it puts off long-term fans too. Number 4. Lewis Hamilton is bang in form. If there was any chance of Max Verstappen running away with the World Championship, Lewis Hamilton has shut that down with 2 of the most emphatic performances of the season. He was electric in Brazil, working his way through the field, and he was dominant, controlling the race from the front in Qatar. Never did it look like he was in danger, mainly because he was so much quicker than anyone else. As we saw with Bottas' struggles, it isn't just about the car. Hamilton is well and truly in the groove right now. Not only has Hamilton found form, but so have the Mercedes team in general. They've got their calls right lately, preventing Hamilton from going long to shut off Verstappen, and as we saw with the tyre blowouts later in the race, it was the right call for sure. The silver arrows aren't going down without a fight. And finally, number 5, Fernando Alonso is back. Over 7 years since his last Formula 1 podium, Fernando Alonso was back on the steps as he finished 3rd in Qatar. His last podium was P2 in Hungary 2014. Since then, Lewis Hamilton has won 6 world championships, Donald Trump has been elected and failed to be re-elected as President of the United States, I finished school, college and university, and GP Blog was founded. That's all from me. What did you make of the first ever Qatar Grand Prix? Let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button. Do all that wonderful stuff. But until next time, I've been Joe Tyrrell. Goodbye.